Hello, and welcome. My name is Jackie Abramoff, and welcome to the Kismet Mystic Podcast. This is a show where I'm going to explore how to understand your unconscious and what it means to individuate and how to restore your sovereignty. And so I'm going to be talking about these things and looking at them through many different lenses. And today's lens is going to be astrology. I'm an astrologer, I'm an intuitive astrologer. I look at astrology through the lens of evolution and understanding yourself and going on your own individual journey. So, astrology is a tool that is a reflection. It shows us that what's happening in the stars happening on the inside of us. It can be used as a predictive tool because we're looking at patterns. We're watching the patterns that happen in humanity based on archetypes. So it's predictive in a way, but it's not predictive in that literally anything could transpire from these experiences. And we could have one pole to another. We could have completely opposite things happening at the exact same time. And that's actually what I love about astrology is that it isn't this is exactly how it's going to be. It's all the options, and it gives us this language to see how connected we are to the universe. And to me, as someone who's been on a journey of individuation, this has been really powerful for me to connect with what's happening in the universe. And as Hermes Trismegistus said, as above, so below, as the universe, so the soul, as within, so without. And this is an important concept to connect with. So today we had Mars conjoin Uranus in the sign of Taurus. And this happened exactly at 26 degrees and 19 minutes of Taurus. Now, Taurus is we've been having a lot happen with Uranus and Taurus over the last 5 or 6 years, right? So Uranus moved into Taurus in 2018, and we have had several conjunctions with Mars and Uranus. They happen approximately every 2 years. It depends on the retrogrades. And the last time that we had this conjunction was August the 1st, 2022. So, as we're thinking about what's getting ready to transpire or what's transpiring for you today, think back to August of 2022. What happened for you around that time? It doesn't have to be exactly on August the 1st. It could be anywhere around that time. If you know your chart, this happened at 18 degrees of Taurus. So you can look at where that degree is in your chart. On that particular conjunction, we had the North Node also conjunct Taurus and Mars. So it's a really big time. When I think back to that time, that was actually the month that I decided I was going to move away from everything I had ever known and move across the country. So you can see that there was big changes happening in people's lives at that time. Now, I'm a Taurus rising, so it does affect signs differently based on where Taurus is in your chart. So it is going to be a little bit more intense for anyone who has a Taurus placement. Now, before that, we had Mars conjunct Uranus at 6 degrees of Taurus, and that was on January 20th, 2021. This was also a really profound time of my life. And so, think back to that time. What was happening? At that conjunction, we also had the moon conjunct Taurus, conjunct Mars and Uranus. So you want to be thinking about what happened during these times because this is a synodic cycle with Mars and Uranus. They co-join in the sky, and every time they do, something changes. They offer us some kind of exciting transition, a shift, a new desire that arises inside of us. They when they co-join, it's this shaking up of our world. There's a desire to go after something new. Now I'm going to share my screen. Let me see if I can get that going here. Share. Okay. So here we have Mars and Uranus conjunct. And Let's talk about Uranus as a planet. So, Uranus is the planet that symbolizes shaking things up. Okay, this is the part of us that wants to shift and change. It is the part of us that wants to shockingly do something new. It's like a 180, it's changing the mundane of our life. And Uranus symbolizes disruption. Now, these disruptions could be things that we want to disrupt, we become the disruptor of our lives, or these outside circumstances that we attract into our life in order to disrupt the mundaneness of our lives. Uranus is also, this sudden energy where suddenly you need to make this massive change. For example, as I already mentioned, moving across the country. This could be quitting a job. This could be leaving a relationship. This could be opening a new business. This could be reconnecting with someone that you once had and falling out with, right? It's a sudden change of direction of life, of your thoughts, of how you see the world, your perception, because Uranus is our higher perception. So when we get that bigger view of life, of what's happening, it's like immediately we're ready to do something to shift our direction. Uranus energy is this inner wild card energy that we all have, right? It's wanting to just completely let go of this old way of being and change and do something completely new. This is an out of the box energy. This is like we want to rebel. We want to break the old paradigms with our inner Uranus energy. We want to get to that deeper layer of what are we doing here, and if what we're doing doesn't matter. That inner Uranus part of us wants things to make a difference and wants our lives to matter. So then we have the planet Mars, and Mars is us planet of action. It's our energy. It's what gives our life force. It represents our life force energy, and it's that urge that we have to go after what we want in life. Mars relates to our inner desires, our primal desires. And Mars is what we are passionate about. Mars represents the things we attract into our life. It's also masculine energy, and it's masculine relationships. Now, everything has its opposite. So Mars is also anger and it's rage and forcing things to happen and wanting to, push things forward even when they're not ready. But Mars is excitement, it's inspiration, it's fire, it's that inner, yes, I'm gonna go for this. It's the leadership energy, right? When we think of the masculine, we think of leadership energy. So this could even relate to people in your lives who you look at as a leader. This is also a very determined energy dynamic. With Mars, it's wanting to get what we want and get it now. Of course, it can be combative and it can be destructive. So those are things you can also be aware of when these two planets are co-joining in the sky like this. Now, these planets are meeting in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus is this calm and this peaceful and this beautiful and this aesthetic Venus energy. It's all about peace and harmony. And this is stillness. This is calmness. This is gentleness. Taurus energy loves sameness and routine and knowing what's coming next and sticking with what is known and kind of staying the course. So it's an earth energy that's very grounded and practical. Taurus is this energy that loves to be, generous and comforting and wants to just kind of be in the pleasures of life, right? Taurus represents our values and our self-worth. When we think of Taurus, we want to think of our resources. It's how we, connect with our resources, whether that's friends or family or money or our possessions. This is the way we relate to money and the kind of money that we bring into our lives. So these two really dynamic energies of Mars and Uranus, which are more shocking, changing, moving, are meeting in this sign of Taurus, which is this much more inward, calm, still energy. So unsurprisingly, there's going to be a lot of discomfort with this, right? It's like you should have been feeling this energy build, because normally right before we have a conjunction, we have a time where our body starts to be feeling discontentment, the stuckness. And that's because when Mars and Uranus co-join, there is this inner desire that though their co-joining is reflecting our inner desire for transformation, our inner desire to completely change something in our lives, especially in the sign of Taurus, because Taurus is where we tend to get stuck in life, where we feel like we can't move something forward because we're afraid of the shift. We're afraid of what change will mean for us. Now, these two energies coming together is going to be, it's going to be something probably shocking. There could be something really exciting about this energy. This could be something very explosive. And this could be something that either you feel you need to do, or it could be something that happens in your life. And it's happening in your life as a representation of what's happening on the inside of you. When you're discontent, you will attract circumstances to you, will attract situations, people, experiences that will shift you and change you. So this could be a time where you're feeling like, yes, I'm ready to say yes to that thing that is new. You might be getting ready to make a really big choice. You could be feeling a lot of anger and a lot of frustration during this time. And if you are feeling kind of angry or frustrated, just know that that's what's supposed to be happening. And that's because you're needing to recognize where you're stuck. So if you feel angry, you feel frustrated, make sure that you come inward and don't blame that anger and frustration on the circumstances, right? I've talked about this in other videos, that when we have something happening outside of us, it's the time to say, why am I attracting this experience? Why am I angry? How have I made choices that have made me angry? For example, if you're frustrated in your job, the frustration in your job is from your choice of staying in a job that you're not happy with. Right now, you could say, oh, well, it's my boss and the way he's treating me. But really, what it is you not being able to say, I'm going to find something that aligns for me. This doesn't align for me. And that's where the anger comes from. It's actually not from the person. It's from your response or your lack of an ability to respond the way that is true for you to the person. So for some of us, this conjunction is going to be a great catapult energy. It's going to really get us out of the rut. It's going to give us this momentum to get on track and to connect with what we want. It's going to give us time to face a fear, right? Because Taurus tends to relate to things we're afraid of changing. And this Uranus and Mars coming together is like, you don't have time to be afraid anymore. You have to get up and do the thing because you're so uncomfortable inside that you'd rather make the change and get uncomfortable on the outside. And that is where all growth is found, right? That's where all transformation is. That's where joy is found. It's when we do the thing that's hard for us. Now, another interesting aspect to this conjunction is that this is happening on the star Algol. And Algol is a star that has two very different natures to it. One nature of Algol is this very high spiritual value and transformation, spiritual transformation. And the other side of it is extreme misfortune. So I am not going to placate this one for you, but I'm going to tell you the myth, because Algol is related to Medusa, and Algol is said to be the star that is in her third eye in the sky. Now, all astrology is based on myth. Myth is based on archetypes, which is based on stories, and stories are symbolic of what's happening in our lives. So it's about drawing in the symbolism, understanding how symbolism relates to us and where we are on our personal journey. So the story of Medusa is something like this. I'm not going to give you the whole story, but I'm going to abbreviate it for you, okay? Most people know Medusa as the woman who had a hair that was in snakes, and she was the one that turned men into stone when she looked at them. But she was looked at as demonic, as bad. But the myth actually goes much, much deeper than that. And it's actually said that she was originally a priestess to the goddess Athena. And Athena was this virgin goddess of wisdom and battle. And a requirement to be a priestess was that you had to be a virgin and you gave your life to Athena. So that's what Medusa was doing. But then Poseidon or Neptune came in, saw Medusa, and Neptune, Poseidon being a rival of Athena, saw Medusa and decided he wanted her and allured her into sleeping with him. This is very Neptunian, elusive, deceptive, trickery, right? And so Medusa is, well, it is also said that she was raped by Neptune, but sometimes the words in the translations aren't accurate, so I'm not going to assume one or the other. We'll say it like this: she lost her virginity to him. Okay, and so she grieved. She was sad. She asked for forgiveness. Athena sent her away, and basically made her into this unattractive woman with snakes for hair and cracked skin. And Athena made it so that whenever she looked at a man, they would become stone. Now, eventually, she was beheaded by a someone working for Athena, and Athena then took her head, which still had that power to turn men into stone, and used her head in battles. And so, in a way, she was still able to serve Athena, but through this different way where she was able to become this symbol that no one would attack Athena, and she would ward off enemies. So now, when you think about the third eye of Medusa, this star owl, yes, Medusa was beheaded, and that is often that misfortune of the star, right? That her life was lost, so to speak. But it's also this deep transformational energy because it relates to how, even in her death, her life was so powerful, right? She had power, and her heart being of service to Athena. So even though, like I said, this isn't a perfect myth and Greek mythology has lots of weirdness to it, we can see this symbolism of something being changed from evil to good and good to evil, and just this back and forth. So whatever is happening around this conjunction or whatever this is representing in your life could be something that's really difficult to go through, but is going to result in this really powerful transformation in your life in the future. But maybe it's really difficult to go through at first. Like maybe you're going to have to face people rejecting you, or maybe you're going to have to face people not liking what you have to say, or maybe you're going to face having to leave a relationship that's really important to you, or maybe you're going to have to face conflict with someone. And those things are difficult to go through, but they will eventually lead to this inner liberation and this, transformation of your life. Now, another thing that's really interesting about this degree, the 26 degrees and 19 minutes, is the Sabian symbol of an old Indian woman selling beads and trinkets. And I love this symbol. I think this is really important and a really good way to kind of wrap up what this might mean for you. What might this transition, this change, what might it connect to? And this symbol relates to our values. It relates to our talents, our abilities, what we have to offer. It's our creative ventures. It's about our self-worth. It's about breaking out of this low self-worth that we may have had and believing in ourselves, right? This is the energy of putting yourself out there, right? This old Indian woman selling beads and trinkets, like, believes in what she has to offer. And so if you have discounted yourself, if you have felt small, this is really a time for investing in yourself in some way. And our creative talents aren't just painting and drawing. While for some of us, it surely will be, actual art that we're going to create. For others, it might be something different. It might be, putting your creative energy towards building something. It could be so many different things. So you have to be connecting with creative energy being this life force, this where you're giving what is on the inside of you, these ideas, these projects, these thoughts that want to produce something in the world. So this is representative of a time to believe in ourselves, to take that risk for what we believe in for ourselves. Okay, so the rest of this week, there are some other aspects that are going to be happening, and they're also going to relate to Uranus. So on Tuesday, we have the moon opposite Uranus and opposite Mars. So that's going to probably bring in some kind of difficult emotions. It could also be an opportunity to connect with a challenge, something that you feel challenging. So this could be a really, like, you step into something that's challenging for you. I often find oppositions to be really great experiences where I do something bold, I take a risk, and I trust myself, and it works out. So keep that in mind for Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we have the sun beginning to make a sextile to Uranus and to Mars. Mars is moving away from Uranus, so they're still in a sextile, but it's not as strong. And the sun with Uranus is a great opportunity for, courage, stepping, like, it's that inner trust and courage and this desire to create, because the sun is in the sign of Cancer. It's water energy, and this water is meeting this change of earth, and it's like, what are you ready to do? What is that inner fire saying, yes, we can do this? This is definitely a believing in yourself. This may relate to your feelings and your emotions and feeling like you can really trust yourself during this time. Now, of course, some people are going to probably experience this as fear. Those things do happen. And then we have the exact all happening on Thursday. And then on Friday, we have this Mercury beginning to make a square to Uranus. So that is probably going to be like some kind of challenge. It could be a new opportunity, new ideas coming in, inner battle around what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it. But this could also be some bigger dreams beginning to formulate. Really good for creativity coming in, because Mercury is Leo, it's a very creative energy. And it is an energy of taking action. So you could get some new communications coming in, new friends, new partnerships, new resources coming to you. And then on Saturday, we have, my computer's being a little slow right now. Okay, on Saturday, we have the sun and Mars in an exact sextile. And then the sun and Neptune in a trine. So that's a lot more creative dreaming coming in. And we're coming up on an important full moon that I'm going to do a podcast on that is related to some endings. So with all of this energy coming right before this full moon, this is a great time to be dreaming into what it is that you want to do, spending time with your values, getting out of the box, trusting yourself, beginning to take risks, trusting the risks that you feel like you want to take. We also have a supportive sextile with Venus and Jupiter, and that's going to be um, bringing in friendships. This could be a feminine energy that's really supportive. This could be a very healing energy. And like I said, we have this full moon coming up. So really, really connect this week with what it is that you're ready to shift and change and open yourself to it. With Uranus and Mars, you have no idea what could happen in your life. So this is a time to dream big, to say yes to the things that scare you. And I'm planning to do a podcast on the full moon. If you're in Phoenix, a friend and I are going to be hosting a full moon ceremony, and it's going to be in person where we're going to be doing energy healing, and we're going to be doing sound healing and an ancestral meditation and a release ceremony. So it's going to be a super powerful day. If you're in town, you want to connect with that, you can connect with me on Instagram at inspire_authenticity.com, inspire_authenticity, or you can check my website at kismetmystic.com. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what's happening in your life. If you want to connect over a reading, feel free to reach out to me. I do have a sale going on right now, so you can check my Instagram to connect with that. Other than that, I wish you a wonderful week, and I can't wait to hear what's happening for you. So that's all I have for today. And my computer is freaking out. Does not want to end this meeting. Okay, there we go. Finally. Looks like it might be needing a new computer. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening, for being here, and I look forward to next time. Bye.